us a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Grounded in Maine podcast is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I started this podcast out of a desire to learn new ways to be sustainable, because the word sustainability is big. It can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to learn, different ways to try to be part of the solution and not feel like it's too late. So I am talking to people who are doing different things and learning so much. I hope that you are too.
Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy Fagan, and today is just a special episode, a bonus episode, you might say, to celebrate International Podcasting Day. I paired up with a friend of mine who is one of my very favorite podcasters who I met in the last year. And I just thought it would be fun. We thought it would be fun to do something together. So we both have the same first name, and we both are podcasters, of course, and we actually live in the same town, and we had never met until we started listening to each other's podcasts. So it was just super fun. And so Amy Lewis has this really great podcast called Pop Culture Retrospective, and of course, if you listen to my podcast at all, or if you buy my jam at all, I love the 80s, and so Pop Culture Retrospective, she talks about all kinds of really fun stuff from the 80s, the 90s, and early 2000s, and I'm all about it. So I love listening to that, and we thought that it would be fun to just kind of go, talk about how we met, and she went over the questions that she asked her guests, which I apologize to any of my 90s people. She did 90s trivia, and I sucked bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. If she did 80s, I would have kicked butt, but I sucked. But it was still fun. It was still lots of fun. So I'm sorry if I let you down, but we still had a good time. And so anyway, I just wanted to do a quick intro. And if you don't listen to Pop Culture Retrospective and you love the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s, or just love fun trivia, please listen to her podcast, because it is so fun. And you learn a lot too, and in the most fun way. But anyway, here is my conversation with Amy. She's just so good at what she does, and we had a great time. Happy International Podcasting Day, everyone. If you have any thoughts of starting a podcast, I highly recommend it. Let me know. I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to help you. I'll point you in the right direction for sure.
All right. Well, welcome back to the show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. On today's show, I am joined by a very special guest, another fellow Amy, who's a podcaster / lives in the same town as me. Amy from the Grounded in Maine podcast, which is essentially, she's going to do a much better job of summarizing it, but kind of telling us how we can leave the earth better than we found it, I guess you could say. So doing some really interesting interviews and kind of tips and encouragement for just kind of living a more sustainable life. So Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. This is so fun. I'm thrilled. I've been wanting to be on your podcast since I met you.
Yeah, I know. It's such a small world. Yeah. So kind of a backstory is we just sort of connected. I don't know if it was on like Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Instagram, because I had posted about an episode that I had done on Springworks Farm, and you said, "Oh, this was really cool. This is a great episode. I used to drive by all the time." And I was like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
Small world. Yeah.
Wait, how are you in Lisbon?
Right. Yeah,
you're a podcaster.
Right. Well, and if you Google Lisbon, I'll go right to like Portugal, but there is a Lisbon, Maine, where I was a school counselor for about 10 years. And I actually had a student that I was very close with who worked at Springworks Farm, so I heard a lot about it, and I actually currently have some of their lettuce in my refrigerator. So it's good stuff. So tell us a little bit more about your podcast, Amy.
Well, so Grounded in Maine is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I want it to be encouraging because sustainability is such a big word, and it can be very overwhelming with the state of the world right now. Some people might feel like it's just too late, like it is too far gone. Why even bother?
Yeah.
But the fact is, there are so many things that we can do, and it doesn't have to be like moving mountains or anything. Like, we don't have to have a huge farmland. We don't have to have tons of money. We can be making our own broth, or we can be composting or something. Like, we can all be doing something and be part of the solution. And that's just I love to learn about people's stories, how they where their lives changed to make different choices.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun for me. So I'm getting all the points there.
Yeah, well, and clearly it's something that you're very passionate about, and I think that's a really good point about we don't have to move mountains. There are little things that you can do, because I think that is like you hit the nail really on the head, because I think I find that too, feeling very overwhelmed by everything that's happening. It's like, oh my God, where do I even start? Did I accidentally, throw that can in the garbage? I meant to put it in recycling. I'm going to be in, give myself a hard time for that, so I think that's a really great.
That's going to be the straw that breaks the world.
Right. Exactly. And so you kind of had the idea to, as I like to say, I like to use the word, anytime I can rhyme something with the word station, I have a tendency to do that. So you were interested in pulling the train into Collaboration Station. And so what was sort of your thought behind that?
Heck yeah. So September 30th is International Podcasting Day. And I just thought it would be really fun because like I said, I wanted to be on your podcast for the longest time. I was like, why don't we do something together and just sort of celebrate that? And just the fact that podcasting means so much to us, and it's how we met. So yeah. It seems like a perfect reason to celebrate and do something fun together.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
I love awesome. Collaborating. Just, it's so fun to not be the only one talking.
Right. Okay. Amen to that. Yeah. It's weird to hear your own voice for extended periods of time. And I always say that's, I think, one of the coolest things that has come out of podcasting for me, which I did not anticipate, didn't know anything about going into all this. I was just sitting in as I like to say, I was sitting in the corner of our bedroom in the dark, recording this. And out of this journey that I've been on, I've met so many amazing people. And I just find the podcasting community to be so encouraging and supportive and positive. I wish more people could experience this sort of supportive, uplifting environment, because we're all sort of rooting for each other, because it's not a competition, because people can listen to whatever they want to, whenever they want to. So it's just amazing that there's just so many cool people that I would have never met or never, knew existed if I wasn't doing a podcast. It's kind of crazy.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah. The people I've met, it would never have happened otherwise.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, we have the same name. We live in the same town. We're both podcasting. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is a small town.
It is. Yeah, it is. And I'm assuming, I think, identify as sort of as Gen X.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that when I was your age.
Right. I know. That is so true.
It was not something we talked about when I was younger.
Right. I'm pretty sure my mom didn't refer to herself as a baby boomer when she was like 30. I highly doubt it. Yeah. So
maybe I'm on the cusp if I am.
Yeah. I'm on the cusp of I guess of Gen X and millennial, which I can't really relate to millennials, but I can't fully relate to everything that Gen Xers. I don't have any recollection of Vietnam and all that stuff. So I'm in a weird thing. I feel very lost. I need some direction. No. Yeah, I'm stuck in the middle too. So we can relate on that front too, in addition to having the same name and living in the same town and being brunettes and wearing glasses. I mean, the list just goes on. All right. Yeah. So, anyways, so what I thought we could do tonight, which we had talked about actually this quite a while ago too, is doing some 90s trivia because the 90s was certainly a fun time. I remember it fondly, and I feel like that's kind of when the peak of my knowledge of like music and movies and TV shows. I feel like that's when I was really at my peak. Anything that's been more recent, I'm not even really familiar with. So I'm all about the
Yeah.
90s trivia. And so I have this really great game. So it's called Back to the 90s Trivia. And the backstory behind the story is pretty cool for people who may be listening to the show. So I reached out to this woman named Angie, who owns an Etsy store that's called Play Break Games. And I was just kind of interested in maybe having somebody who put together a 90s or 80s trivia game on the show, just to maybe talk to them about what inspired them to create the game, things like that. And she was kind of in the middle of some stuff moving and such, so she wasn't able to be on the show, but she heard about, I kind of explained my show and kind of why I do it, and it's inspired by the loss of my sister and stuff. And she was very kind to me, actually gave me the game, which is incredible. And I was
Very
not
sweet.
expecting that. Yeah, not expecting that. I mean, just again, like all these amazing people that you meet, whether you meet them face to face or not, but just all these amazing people that I've met because of the show. So this, really nice woman was like, your show, that's really wonderful that you do that. Here's the game for free. So it's been sitting, in my little paper holder thing for quite a while. So we figured, why not bust that out? And we're going to test the other Amy's, Gen X-ish Amy, on on her 90s trivia knowledge. So,
And realize I am 10 years older than you. So
yeah.
I'm more of an 80s person, but I'll do
Yeah.
my best.
Okay. Well, that'll be the next one is maybe you can quiz me on 80s stuff. We'll do a reverse, and I'll
That
see if
sounds fun.
I can remember, what songs Catch a Goo Goo sang in Culture Club and all that good stuff. All right. So we will start. So the cool thing about this game, which I'm not able to show here because it's just kind of a long story that has to do with my email management. So there's actually some really cool interactive slides that come along with this game that you can click on. So if you could play like a Zoom round of this game with your friends, maybe if they lived out of town or during the height of the pandemic. So it's a really great game. I highly recommend it, and I'll put a link to the show notes. So, okay. So our first category is going to be TV shows. And for each of these questions, I'm going to give Amy 15 seconds to answer. I figured that way people who are listening to this at home or while they're driving would also have a chance to kind of think about what the answer is before I kind of blurt it out. So I have my little stopwatch here, and I'm going to ask Amy the question, start the timer, give her 15 seconds, and we'll go from there. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So first category, TV shows. Let's see. Claire Danes got her start on what TV show?
Oh my gosh, my sister knows this. I know it. Oh gosh. Ellie, what is it? Oh
2
my
seconds.
gosh.
All right, time is up. That's okay. The answer is My So-Called Life.
My So-Called Life. Yes.
Which was only on for a year, which was
it only a year?
Only a year, which is very frustrating. Yeah, My So-Called Life was actually one of the early episodes of the show. It was probably within the first 5 episodes that I ever did, because my sister was obsessed with that show, wanted to look like Claire Danes in that show. But I don't really listen to any of the early episodes because they just make me cringe. I don't know if you're like that too, but I just can't handle like my early episodes. I just can't do it. Not there. I'm not quite there yet to listen to them. I was nervous. So, yeah. All right. So Claire Danes, My So-Called Life.
Dang it.
All right. That's right. Shake it off. That's all right. Okay. The next
You call
question,
that a practice round?
Yeah, just a warm-up round. It's true. That's yeah. No problem. No judgment. All right. All right. Next question is, this show is often described as the show about nothing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The show about nothing.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna.
It was notorious.
This.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay. The answer is Seinfeld.
Oh.
Yeah, often described as a show. I don't think because there wasn't any like crazy plot lines or some crazy action sequences or anything too,
I feel like
significant.
most shows during that time frame were kind of that. I mean, they
It's
didn't
true.
really have a plot. Every
Right.
week there was something different, but
Right.
I would that makes sense.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, nothing. Sure.
Yeah. And I don't know if you ever go to, I think I brought this up in my show with Saul Osterlitz, but I don't know if you ever get coffee at Dog Bar Jim here in Brunswick, but he's often playing Seinfeld on the TV in the
Oh,
coffee
from
shop.
him?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty hysterical on a really small old school Sony TV, which is like it's like a 9-inch TV. It's pretty hysterical. I don't think the college kids that go in there really know what's happening. Okay.
Is it black and white?
No, that would be awesome, but no, I think it is color. Yeah, which is impressive. All right. So the next question is, what was the butler's name in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Jeffrey.
Yes, that is correct. Woo, you did that in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Nice. I love Jeffrey. All right. Now the next couple ones should be. Oh, I guess this is the last TV one. So, all right. What is the name of the coffee shop where characters of the sitcom's Friends hang out?
Oh, Central Park.
Exactly right. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next category is music.
Okay.
Let's see. Which artist released the song "I'm Too Sexy"?
Right Said Fred.
Yes, that is correct. Gotta love it. Right Said Fred. There's a pretty good SNL digital, I think was it a digital short or whatever, with Tom Hanks and Andy Samberg pretending to be those guys. It's pretty hilarious. I won't say what they were singing about, but it was pretty funny, just about trying to encourage people not to cut something off of their anatomy, which is really funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have to look that up.
It's pretty well. Anything with Tom Hanks just acting like completely
silly.
Yeah, is just priceless. All right. So the next one is identify this song, and I'm going to recite some lyrics for you. I'll do my best here. This is, yeah. All right. Quick to the point, no faking, cooking MCs like a pound of bacon.
Do you have any more lyrics?
No. Quick to the point. Yeah, that's it. Quick to the point, no faking, cooking MCs like a pound of bacon.
Is that Hammer Time?
No. Close. I mean, you're in the right ballpark there. That is Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. Yeah, gotta love Vanilla Ice. Robert Van Winkle. He's still around. He's still kicking. He has a pretty interesting. I actually did a show, again, kind of an early one, on him, and he has a pretty amazing story too. I think, and I also did MC Hammer too. I think MC Hammer story I found very, very interesting, very fascinating. His story is pretty incredible, but Vanilla Ice's story is pretty interesting too. Yeah, to put it lightly, but again, long time ago. Don't have the patience to listen to it right now because I just would probably cringe. All right, the next question is, when this band saw the sign, it opened up their eyes.
Ace of Base.
Yes, that is correct. So, funny story related to Ace of Base, who were like super popular I would say that was like the early 90s, I think. So I'm of Japanese descent, and so my grandmother's from Japan, and yada yada. But anyways, so my grandmother's sister has a daughter, aka my grandmother's niece, and she came to live in the United States for, I'm trying to remember how long it was. Maybe it was like 6 months or a year. And so she, of course, she wanted to get all wrapped up in American culture and stuff like that. And one CD that I distinctly remember her buying and then us listening to was Ace of Base. It was a good time back then. It was a lot of fun. But out of all things, that you got that Americans listen to is like Ace of Base, really. But anyways, I probably thought it was awesome at the time, but now I'm like,
well, yeah, at the time, that was everything.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever happened to Ace of Base? Maybe that's going to be a subject of another show. Like, what happened to ... Ace of Base could be one of them.
I know there's a YouTube on that because there's like a There's a YouTube channel that it does like all these. I saw like a Huey Lewis and some other, like they were talking about bands. Where are they now?
Yeah. Well, I think I heard Huey Lewis, he actually lost a significant amount of hearing, right? And so he can't really perform anymore. God, that stinks. Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff, those bands that went too hard in the, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s even. I mean, my God.
Oh my gosh. I just read today that so like all these bands that were huge, like the hair bands and whatever in the 80s and 90s are like they're doing their farewell tour, their reunion tour, whatever. Like Aerosmith and who else? Pearl Jam and
I think Guns N' Roses have been
Guns N' Roses, and I was reading today all of them had to like cancel shows because of illness.
Oh my God. Yeah, some of the, and it's amazing. Some
you are just some people, too old, you guys.
Right.
You lived too hard back then.
Yeah. Axl Rose looks like he could.
He looks bad.
Yeah, definitely overdid it.
Bad, buddy.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. That'd be another good topic for a show too. My God, my wife. There's nothing that she likes more than a good hair band, like jamming out to like some Poison.
Oh, totally.
Motley Crue. It's
it's great for cleaning.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, I can see Dr. Feelgood could be really, that could be really helpful. You're just scrubbing the crap out of the floor. Oh man, good times. So many good bands out there. I know it also reminds me of roller skating. But anyways, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
School dances.
Yeah, it's true. All right. The next question is, unknown to the artist, the title of this song references deodorant marketed to young girls.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember
it well. Just heard this. Oh, crap.
2 seconds.
I cannot. I don't know, but I just
That's
heard
okay.
This.
It's Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Okay.
Which doesn't say the words Teen Spirit at all, I think, in the song, but that's the name of it. And so, yeah, everybody I think back was, assuming like, is this some kind of odd deodorant, weird advertisement? But it was not. So, yeah.
Nothing about your armpits.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, well, based on how my children's feet smell right now, I can't wait until that phase, but that's for another show. All right. The next category is movies. All right. So this is a quote from a movie, and it says, "Molly, you in danger, girl," is a quote from this movie released in 1990.
Ghost.
Nice. Excellent. I don't know why I'm keeping like tabs on the score.
Are you keeping
yeah. I don't know why. I don't even know what the total score like should be. So whatever. This is like a habit, I guess. I don't know. We play games with kids a lot, and there's always like a disparity.
Someone has to win, someone has to lose.
Right, exactly. So fun fact about Ghost, allegedly, and maybe you've heard this before too, is after that movie came out, the number of people who registered, signed up for whatever, couples to take pottery classes, like spiked huge. Because everybody decided that they wanted to reenact that scene with their significant other, apparently. So.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So another funny story. I listened to another podcast, and they just did it's called The Great Song Podcast. And they do like an hour-long episode about a song. And so a couple weeks ago, they did the Unchained Melody. And one of the hosts was like, I've never even seen the movie. I'm like, how can you not even, how can you not have seen the movie?
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it is a really good movie. And I mean, Whoopi Goldberg and Patrick Swayze were all over everything in the 80s and 90s. So that's pretty much a crime to have not seen that movie. So I would just stop listening to that show. No, I'm just kidding. But there's a couple, I have a lot of unpopular opinions on movies of the 80s and 90s too. So I can certainly relate to that. But that is surprising because that was a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think I saw it in a theater maybe 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, I think we owned it. We have owned it. Yeah.
Oh, I totally owned it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he said that it's been covered. Like Unchained Melody has been covered like 20 or 30 times.
Wow.
Something like that. Like crazy.
Man. Well, it's amazing. I'm sure for the original artist, it's like that one song is all that he needed, and now he's like just living off the royalties. That's insanity. I really need that to happen in my life, but it probably won't. All right. The next question is, oh geez. This was the highest grossing film of the 1990s.
Jurassic Park?
That is incorrect. It is Titanic.
Oh, I never saw it.
What? Now that's even crazier than Ghost. What?
I am a resistor.
Hmm.
I like the super popular ones. I really don't want to see because I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Like I'm just afraid that they're so hyped up that they're not that big. Not that great.
Yeah. Well, maybe
I
that
never
should be
saw it.
that should be a future episode too. Is maybe like what movies did you not see in the 80s or 90s that you should see now? And I saw Titanic not once but twice in the movie theater and like sobbed, and it was not pretty. And I am not a Leonardo DiCaprio fan, never have been, and I like to refer to him as Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
Burn. I'm sure he's listening to the show and he's gonna like send me some mean email, but yeah, I saw it twice. I really liked that movie, and it was so long that when people started buying it, it took up 2 VHS tapes, so it was a double tape purchase. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember how, I think it's over 2 hours or something like that. So yeah, it was a big deal back then. All right. The next question is, what is the name of the 1997 film starring John Cusack, Nicolas Cage, and John Malkovich? I don't think I would have gotten this one.
I have no idea. It's not being John Malkovich, right?
It is not. It is Con Air. It is Con Air. Which I remember, I remember when that came out, which I think it has to do with convicts flying on an airplane. But I remember when it came out, I'm like, isn't that the name of a hairdryer company, Con Air? Like, wait, what is that?
Totally.
Yeah. It's like, that is not what this movie is about at all. All right. So yeah, it's 1997, that movie.
No points for Amy.
Yeah. We're sitting at 5, sitting pretty at 5 points in. Who cares? Because this is just for fun. All right. The next question is, Home Alone is based in which city?
Is it Cleveland?
Close. It is Chicago, because they fly out of O'Hare, and the house itself is in, it's not Batavia, but anyways, it's in a night, like clearly in like a higher end neighborhood in kind of a suburb of Chicago, kind of quasi near where I grew up, and it's a beautiful home and does exist, but I'm sure for the people living there, it's a nightmare, especially now. So
I never saw that either.
Yeah. Oh man. So Titanic, Home Alone, right? Do you have a pen? Write this stuff
There
down.
are a lot. There are a lot.
Yeah, and I'm the same. Well, I'm the same way, especially anything in the last 20 years. I guarantee if somebody asked me if I've seen it, I haven't. Even if it was won 10 Oscars or whatever, I haven't seen it for sure. I also don't have the patience to sit through a movie anymore either, which is sad.
Same.
Yeah. It's called late stage in life diagnosis of ADD, and that is not a joke. But anyways, let's go on. We'll go on to the next question. Yeah, on that note, "You can't handle the truth" is a quote from this movie.
That is A Few Good Men.
That is correct.
Which I also did not see, but I know the
Didn't
quote.
see either. Yeah, didn't see either. Tom Cruise, I think, right?
And that other guy.
Yeah. People are probably going to be like throwing Rotten Tomatoes at their car, whatever, that their blue.
Give me the 80s. I will kick butt.
Yeah. We'll definitely do a rematch. Okay. The next one is, it's kind of interesting. These are news headlines from the 90s. So, which, once a news story happened, I mean, that was just all you were going to see back then, because they'll just extend it for as long as possible. All right. So the first question is, Mike Tyson bit off a portion of whose ear during a boxing match. That was so gross. I remember that. Ugh.
Some dude.
That is correct. So the answer is Evander Holyfield, who I don't remember kind of what his. I'm not a big boxing. I don't really care for boxing. I don't have the stomach for it, but I don't think he's as decorated, I guess you could say, as like Mike Tyson. But I certainly remember when that happened, and there was pictures of the ear like on the ground in the ring. Oh my God. Oof.
Why? Why do they
Yeah.
have to show that?
I know. It's like, can't
What
they
did he
just
do
like,
to get his ear bit off? He
I
said
think Mike
something
Tyson
mean?
is. I think Mike Tyson has like CTE, like a lot of the football players have, where he's just taken so many blows to the head that he thought,
He just snapped.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. That he did, yeah. So he bit off
Didn't
somebody's
he?
ear.
And he see, Mike Tyson's he's no peach. Like, didn't
No,
he like had dog fighting?
I think that
That's
sounds
someone else.
correct. It,
That's a football guy.
oh,
Mike Vick.
oh, you're
Vic?
right. Yes, Vic something. Yes, Mike Vick. Again, people are probably, yeah. I know it's terrible. And
Amy, don't talk about sports, please. You don't know what you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah. No, I'm not no, well, the same here. Well, again, my only like knowledge base is like 80s Chicago Cubs, 80s Chicago Bears, and that's about it. Or in like early 90s, that's the height of my in Chicago Bulls. That's the only athletes I know. So I shouldn't even be like guessing who these people are. But I know that Mike Tyson also has a history of like domestic violence too. So it's just he's boxing has brought him a lot of wealth, but I think just too many hits to the head.
Hmm.
And speaking of violence, what was the name of the judge in the O.J. Simpson murder trial? This was on the news every
Holy
flipping
moly.
day for like
Ever.
6 months. Oh my God,
Ever.
it seemed like it went
I
on
just
forever.
remember the car chase forever. I don't know.
It's Judge Ito.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Him.
little Asian
Ask me what
sensation.
color his car was in the car
Yeah,
chase.
yeah,
I
white
remember
Bronco.
that.
Yeah, that was, oh my God. And I'm sure it was probably like was 2 weeks, but to me, when that was on the news, it was like, oh my God, it's like a year of this every single day. It's like, can you please tell me like what temperature it's going to be tomorrow, or am I going to have school?
Anything else.
Yeah, I'll take anything but this every single day forever.
You're just watching a car on the road.
Yeah, awful. All right. The next question is, Tupac Shakur was shot and killed on the streets of this city.
I have no idea.
I think this was the second episode of my podcast. So he was shot and killed in Las Vegas. Yeah. Crazy. And he was wearing an angel, I think it was like an angel of death, like a weird coincidence, like an angel of death necklace or something like that. Yeah, he was there, I think, actually for a boxing match. I believe that's why he was in Las Vegas, coincidentally.
To see Mike
Yeah.
Tyson.
Yeah, really. Oh God, please say no. I don't know. I think I don't remember who it was. But yeah. And he was,
Wow.
he wasn't even like 30. I think he was like in his late 20s. So sad. All right. The next question is, these news headlines are like super depressing. So on that note, the tragic death of this member of the royalty shocked the world.
Oh, Princess Diana.
Yeah. Awful. That was sad.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. I remember I think that was a time in my life where I was certainly up a lot later than I am now, because now I go to bed at like 8 o'clock. But I remember randomly, maybe I was working late that evening or something, or I just couldn't sleep, because Oprah also ran late at night where I grew up, which was pretty outstanding. But I remember just catching that like as it happened, like the first broadcasts of her passing. That was such a tragedy. My goodness, it
still is. Like, I mean, just
yeah.
There are not many things that are more painful. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It just was, and maybe it's just because we were finally like old enough to really absorb that information, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I went through life just sort of oblivious to
Mm,
everything, and then suddenly this thing happens and I'm like, wait, what? No,
right.
no, no, people aren't supposed to die like that. And didn't she just get divorced? Like, why is all this bad stuff happening? And what about
Right.
her kids? And yeah, that was like, I think that was probably the first thing that I remember too.
Yeah. Yeah. The first big celebrity kind of death that just kind of rock you to, hit you in your core. Is there, not to continue on a sort of a depressing topic, but are there like other famous people that have passed in the last however long in your lifetime that their passing just really impacted you a lot more than you were
Robin
expecting?
Williams.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. Someday when I have the strength, I will do a show on Robin Williams because my sister and I mean, I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't love Robin Williams. That's how amazing he was. So yeah, I would agree with that. And I was actually pretty, I think when Tina Turner died, that really hit me pretty hard too, because I was raised on
Yeah.
Tina Turner and saw her in concert. And when I was
Very
in high
cool.
school, and oh my, it was like I mean, I had been to a couple of concerts, but that was like, I mean, a true a performer in every sense of the word. And oh my God, and she was probably in her like 60s or something at that point, doing that and dancing so well. It was just, so yeah, that was definitely a celebrity death.
For sure.
That
Yeah.
stunk. All right. Well, on this, the next one is not as depressing, so that's good.
Yay.
Yeah. Moving on from that. In 1997, scientists introduced the world to Dolly, the first cloned.
Sheep.
Yes, that is correct. Sheep.
I got a
Oh, yes.
point.
Yes, yes. I feel like that was another thing that was on the news for like an unnecessary length of time too. It's like, all right, we get it. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of panic of like, okay, great, what are they going to clone next? But that was like
Right.
certainly on the news way more than it needed to be. That is for sure.
Happened. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, the next round of questions, it's the last category, I guess. It's trends. So yeah, I don't know why I just said it like that.
We're not. It's not like fashion, right? Because I'm sort of like.
I don't know. Yeah, some of this is like, I mean, I guess it's about kind of some stuff about clothes, but I don't think it's anything that's like so taste specific that it would be hard to remember.
Okay.
So the first one is this song I think there's another typo here. This song sparked a dance craze that spread everywhere from the Olympics to the Democratic National Convention. It's probably played at every single wedding and like prom, everything, I'm sure, in the 90s.
The Macarena?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Nicely done. Add that to
Yay.
the mark there. Okay.
It's like the locomotion?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Nope. Macarena. Oh my God, that was awful. I didn't like it
and
then.
then there was like the Mambo 5.
Oh God, I hate that. Oh,
like,
I try not to use that word.
I don't even know. Like I never
Yeah, a
saw
little
it,
bit of Susie by my side. It's like, oh my God, this is just awful. And now, my dad has been obsessed with the electric slide for like 20 years. It's like, oh my God. It's like so repetitive, it's like, and we're gonna like, it's like if it gets people dancing, like believe me, like I am all for it. But it's like the amount of times I've heard the electric slide, because I think I was like in the prime time range for that song between like going out dancing and school dances or whatever. It's like the number of times I've in weddings. Oh my God, I'd be fine not ever hearing that song ever again. But now there's a Casper slide too, or cha-cha slide, which is like kind of like the electric slide, but slightly better. But then people start dancing inappropriately. I don't know. Anyways, we'll save that for another time. All right. So the 90s music duo Criss Cross started this fashion trend.
Ooh, it was one suspender? One overall, like they did like
I think that was part of it.
Or was it just one?
I think that was part of it, but they also did something else.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know.
All right. So it was wearing clothes backwards.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Why?
Which my kids do, but not on purpose. And yeah. Nope, they did.
Why
And
did
I
you have to
remember,
go to the bathroom?
right. That's true. That'd be really inconvenient. Yeah, that's a really good point. I guess people probably just tried not to drink a lot or eat a lot of fiber that day.
There's
I'm
my
just not,
missed mom brain. What if you have to
yeah.
go pee?
hmm It's true. That's where I go to. Yeah, and actually one of the members of Crisscross passed away in the last like maybe 5 or so years, but I remember so they, wore their clothes backwards, and then you could go a lot of stores at the time too, especially like Kohl's. I have like a weird photographic memory that serves no purpose of any value at all. But anyways, uh places like Kohl's would just sell shirts that had Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck on it, like wearing their clothes backwards. That was like
What?
a popular thing to wear. Yeah. And you could get that at Kohl's or like the Warner Brothers store. That was kind of short-lived. And yeah,
Dress
it
the
was
cartoons backward?
yes. Yep. So they would have like baseball shirts on and jeans on, like Bugs Bunny with the hat backwards. It was a whole thing. I did not, I was aware of said trend. I was not a participant in that trend.
Hmm.
Okay. There's been a couple of these that I haven't done because it involves showing a picture, which it's just not, it's going to be like way too small to show you. So there's a couple we skipped. All right. The next question is banned from some schools. This item could leave bruises on your wrists. They've actually kind of made a comeback too, which is interesting.
The slap bracelets?
Yes, that is correct. Slap bracelets.
Ooh.
Yes, when I went
Wow.
to 90s Con, I got a couple of 90s
That's
Con
right.
slap
Were you
bracelets. Yeah.
saying that?
Yep. And I mean, I definitely had a ton of these. But yeah, they're just like asking for somebody to get whacked with. And they're pretty cheap too. So they're not made, I think my kids already broke the 90s Con one, which I don't know who to blame, but it's probably should blame my children. But yeah, they've made a comeback. Now every time we go to like the dentist or the doctor, and there's like a little treasure box to pick crap out from, one of those items is typically a slap bracelet.
At the dentist office.
hmm hmm
I just
Nothing
get
says,
floss.
yeah, I know. It's
What
true.
the heck?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Great. Yeah. Whenever we go to the allergist, which is always fun, with my son who has horrible allergies. Yeah. Slap bracelets. And then sometimes it has like little fur attached to it as well, which is, I mean, really just going to fall
At an
off in like 2
allergist?
seconds. Yeah. I
I
mean,
would
like
think that
faux fur.
yeah.
That's a very good point. I'm going to tell them that. And I'm going to tell them who shared that information with me so they can find out. No, I'm kidding. But that is a good point. I can't stand that one, especially. So yeah, it looks tacky. And I'm not a tacky person. Okay. The next question is, there was no better way to support your favorite team than by rocking one of these jackets.
The letter jacket? What do they call it? The varsity jacket? I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, it was a brand called Starter,
Starter.
which I'm trying to think if it's still around, but like the infamous jacket that I guess, everybody always says that they had in the 90s was a Charlotte Hornets jacket because it incorporated the colors that were really popular at the time, like that bold teal and bold purple. So I remember that. I don't think I had a starter jacket. I'm sure I wanted one, but because I was, very athletic and stuff. But yeah, didn't end up with one. But anyways,
Oh, you
they
were an
had,
athlete?
oh yeah, I played soccer and basketball and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big time, but not so much anymore, of course. But yeah, wanted to start a jacket, didn't get one, really unfortunate. But at 90s Con too, they of course, looked up the design of that Charlotte Hornets jacket and made like a 90s Con one based off of that you could buy, which was pretty hysterical. I don't know if anybody did, but it definitely was made to look like that because that was a very popular jacket. Even if you didn't watch that team or, I think it just, again, had those colors. And so it was like the have to have thing, like a members only jacket, but a starter jacket. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think there's 3 more questions here. Let's see. So this type of notebook was covered with blindingly bright colored unicorns and dolphins and were coveted by every young girl.
The Trapper Keeper? No.
Well, close, but who did the Trapper Keeper collaborate with?
I don't know. Did you just did an episode on this? The
Mhm.
5.
Yep. It's Lisa Frank.
Oh, yeah. And she was not nice.
No. Her husband was, I think now ex-husband was worse, but yeah, they're both just very odd people. If you watch any interviews with her, she's kind of just an odd person. Which cheetahs and dolphins and it's a little strange. Okay. The second to last question is, this was the go-to place to watch music videos.
MTV.
That is correct. Which I don't think I've watched MTV in 20, 25
I don't
years.
think it plays music anymore.
No, they don't. It's all.
I mean, I think it was like reality TV, and then I have no idea what's. I mean, we don't have cable anymore, so I have no idea what's on it now.
Yeah, no idea. It's probably whatever it is. I'm sure my eyes would be rolling so far back into my head that it would not be good. Okay. So the final question is, instead of buying a textbook cover, you made one with this.
Paper bags.
Yes, that is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
Oh gosh.
So I think that was 11 correct answers, and I'm trying to think. I'll have to figure out how much that was out of, but really, who cares? This is, just like I always like to say, it's like nobody cares what number you were in high school.
Doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Right. It's how you play the game. And, nobody cares if you're in the top 10 of your high school when you're, 40 years old, or that you were the fastest runner in your school. Nobody cares. And, if you don't get all the answers correct that you wanted to on 90s trivia when you're put on the spot, that's okay. So very well done. When you mentioned that, it's not necessarily like, your super duper, knowledge for pop culture era. So I think you did pretty well, all things considered. So we can definitely do an 80s rematch for sure, because I love 80s trivia too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was your sister athletic?
She was not athletic at all. Yes.
So
it was pretty funny.
And your sister and my sister and I are like reversed, because I was not athletic and my sister was very.
Yeah, my sister
is not now.
Yeah. Funny how that works. Not athletic at all. Couldn't like hit a baseball to save her life. But on the flip side though, she was like a self-taught amazing artist, and could draw really well and paint really well. And if you were maybe sitting with her or coloring a picture or something, that she would like shade everything perfectly, like different shades of green, and like meanwhile like your picture looked like crap. It's like, oh my god, you like blended the like and made like shadows on this person's face. Like, how do you even like think like that? I'm just like coloring this dinosaur in like one color and it's gonna be like red, so it was like pathetic, any artwork compared to hers. And I'll never forget, one day I think she played soccer for like 3 days, and she scored on her own goal on her team. So that didn't last very long.
Wow. Yeah. I played soccer for a little bit too, and I got made fun of.
Yeah.
So I don't do that.
Kids are mean bastards.
Who's my dad?
Yeah. Oh. Well, that's not helpful either. Jeez. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Oh man.
I wouldn't have been a pro.
Yeah. People need to like not take stuff so seriously. It's crazy. Kids in sports, that I could do another show on that, about how adults do that. It's like the likelihood of your child like going to the NBA or whatever is pretty much not going to happen. So just enjoy the moment while you have it. Right. Just have fun, because this will probably be the last time that they play organized sports. Because if I tried to, I would tear something, break something, rip something. Yeah. So enjoy it while you can, because it's awful. Well, on lighter topics. So as you know, I've done these nostalgia rapid fire questions with people now who are guests on the show. So I've got some questions for you. And yeah, all related to nostalgia. There's no right or wrong answer here because this is all subjective. This is all your opinion. So I'll ask the question and you can answer however you feel you would like to.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. So first question is, what record, tape, or CD, you can say which medium if you'd like, did you listen to so much that you wore it out?
Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, wow.
I do not want what
That's timely.
How's that? I do not want what I do not have.
Well, I'm just thinking about her passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my sister and I would sing that at the top of our lungs for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then my mom bought the CD, so we had a second copy.
Nice. Now, is your sister older or younger than you?
Younger.
Younger. Okay. What's the age gap?
2.5.
Okay, that's like exactly me and my sister. Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was a little sister though. Wow, Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, I feel like I caught a couple of. I mean, I remember listening to her back at kind of the height of her career, but a lot of her music. Of course, they talked about her a lot after she passed away, and I forgot about like what a talent. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, just amazing. Yeah, what a loss. That was
for sure.
That was tough. Yeah. Let's see, what movies from the 80s or 90s could you watch on repeat?
Oh gosh. I am trying to think now. 80s and 90s. I watched The Thornbirds was the 70s, I think. That was my grandmother's.
Oh my God, I remember that too. My mom was obsessed with the Thornbirds. Oh my God. If she listens to the show religiously, so I just love.
It reminds me of my grandmother. Wow.
Yeah. My mom loved. Oh my God. I'm sure she read the books or whatever like 50,000 times and watched the movies a million times too. Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah. That and Phantom of the Opera. But so when I lived in Utah for 1 year in 93. And nice. We went to the theater I was at BYU, and they had a theater where they would like play the same movies over and over again. And so I saw Cool Runnings so many times, and I love that movie.
Yeah, I did too.
It was so good.
Yeah.
That and Princess Bride.
Oh God.
Amen. But like everyone would go, and we would just like recite all the lines.
Yeah.
Basically just speak the whole thing. My husband just saw Princess Bride the whole way through like 2 months ago. Wow. I know.
What is wrong with you two? Oh my God.
I don't.
Okay. Yeah. I agree. I don't think if there's A, if it's like not a topic that you're interested in, B, it's too hyped up. I can totally understand. I mean, again, I'm the same way. But good for you for making sure that he saw it, because that is certainly a classic.
Well, he grew up. He's younger than I am. He's younger than you are, but no, he's not younger than you are. He's younger than I am, but he grew up on like NPR, so he was like listening to political.
Oh God, poor kid. Oh my God. I mean, I like NPR, but not as a kid.
Yeah. But like he did not grow up watching movies and TV and cartoons and stuff like that. So it's like, wow. I'm like, I need to educate this guy. So we've like watched. I also could watch what's the babysitter movie with Elizabeth Shue?
Adventures in Babysitting.
Yes.
Oh God, I love Elizabeth Shue. I could have like a love affair showing her. Oh my God, I've like had such a crush on her forever. Oh my God, I love Elizabeth Shue.
I made him watch that movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie too. That's a great one. That's a great 80s movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. We watched that a lot. I think my mom liked that movie a lot. I think there's a couple movies that from the 80s that my mom just really loved watching with us. That was one of them, and Troop Beverly Hills. There's a couple more that I can't think of at the moment, but yeah. That is a classic movie. And that's the reason why I always watch Cocktail too, is I like pretended like I was a big Tom Cruise fan, but really it's because I'm like obsessed with Elizabeth Shue, but she's just timeless. All right. What sitcom from the 80s or 90s could you watch on repeat?
Ooh, that would be Friends, probably. I
Hmm.
think Friends. But there were a lot of shows that I watched. Like, I mean, I loved ER,
Mhm.
and I loved Chicago Hope, and I
Yeah.
loved
God, ER was on
Friends.
for like 12 years or something like that.
Something
That's
like that.
crazy. Yeah.
And we're watching the morning show right now on Apple TV, and it
Yeah.
has Juliana Margulies,
Oh,
who
nice. Okay.
was, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what was her name on the
I don't remember. I never really got into ER, but I know a lot of people who were. But yes, I know exactly who you're talking
anyway,
about.
so she's
Yeah.
just playing a very different character, and it's interesting. Of
Yeah.
course, it's
I've
been
heard that's
like
a great show.
25 years or something, so
Right. Yeah. I've heard that's a really good show.
a really good show.
Yeah. Yeah. I only had Apple TV because I think I got a new phone. So we had like the free trial, but we've tried to it's all started to add up. It's like Disney
I
plus
know.
Netflix plus Amazon plus. It's like, oh God, I don't, and then my wife and I probably watch TV maybe a couple of nights a week for like 20 minutes. It's kind of pathetic. And then we go to sleep. So it's like, this is
Why are we spending all this
pointless.
money?
Yeah. But maybe someday when we're not as exhausted, we'll like watch stuff, but it takes us like 3 to 4 sittings to watch a movie. It's and that's
Yeah,
not a joke. Yeah.
I know. And then we do the TV because TV shows because it's shorter, but even still, like my husband going to bed at 9:30, we'll sit down at like 9, and then he's like, I gotta go to bed. And there's 10 minutes left of the show. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're killing me.
Yeah.
Killing
No,
me. And we
right.
have to start it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we got it. We got Apple TV for Ted Lasso, and it was worth it,
I've
100%.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
we started watching that and I think the thing expired. But yeah, that was a good show. I feel like a lot of people told me to watch that show and it is good. It's uplifting and yeah, good stuff. And I like soccer, so slash football. Is there any another question I feel like I should add to this mix of things? Is there a like sitcom I'm gonna say specifically from the 80s, or you could say 70s too, that if it was on, it would just like be torture for you to have to watch because maybe you were like forced to watch it as a child, or maybe like a family member always wanted to watch it, or you just always found it really boring, or
that I hated.
yeah.
Ooh. Um, oh, there's a lot. I mean, I don't love stand-up comedy.
Hmm. Mhm.
Like I really liked SNL in the early years, like
Yeah.
in the 80s and early 90s, but
Yeah.
um I think and I really liked Mad TV,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
liked
that's a good show
In
for you.
Living Color.
Yeah.
But like stand-up comedy, I don't know, something about it just rubs me wrong.
Yeah.
I did not like Seinfeld.
Say that again.
I did not like Seinfeld
Yeah. I don't think I wasn't into it when it was first on either. I think a lot of the I mean, I think at the time too, a lot of the
because it's
humor I think
about
was
nothing.
right. Well, exactly. And the humor I think was above my head too, probably in some instances. Um, yeah, I think for me, I remember like my grandfather watching MASH, and it just made
Hmm.
me. I just makes me feel like I don't know. It just always made me feel like looks really boring. I have no interest in this. Can't relate to any of it. But of course he was in World War II, so I'm sure he was all over
Right.
it. But for me, it was like this is all right. This is I'm gonna go play checkers with grandma or something because this like I'm not watching this at
To
all.
do anything else but
Right.
this.
Yeah, but there's once that theme song came on, it's like, oh, here we
Oh
go.
boy.
Yeah.
What else
Oh,
can I
good.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, these days okay, from that time, I didn't really like I don't really like The Simpsons.
Hmm. Yeah,
I love
yeah.
cartoons, but I don't
Mhm.
like The Simpsons.
Yeah, I never got into The Simpsons either. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But I played the video game. There was an arcade game that was pretty cool
There's a
from what I
video
remember.
game?
Oh yeah, there was a Nintendo game and there was like an arcade game. Yeah. I'm sure there's way more than that, but my frame of reference is very dated. But Nintendo, like NES, had a Simpsons game. It was pretty cool. I don't think we had it though, but somebody else had it. And he like skateboarded and like spray painted stuff and anything that involved skateboarding, I was like all over. So, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of The Simpsons either. All right. Let's see. What was your favorite cereal to eat as a kid?
Cereal. I love Captain Crunch.
Classic. Still around.
Yeah, I know. I can't eat it now though.
Hmm.
It has this like weird greasy
I can see that. There's yeah.
It's like feeling on my tongue.
Hmm.
But,
Yeah.
and I like the sugar smacks, honey
Yeah.
smacks.
Oh yes, I like that too with the frog. I wonder if that's still made.
I think it is.
It might be, yeah. Yeah, I always wanted Captain Crunch, but we never had it. I think we had a lot of Honey Nut Cheerios in our house growing up. And my sister really liked Lucky Charms, which you couldn't pay me to eat Lucky Charms. That is so gross. But I think at the time I probably thought like, oh, this, I'll take a bite of that or whatever. But oh God, in hindsight, it's like, oh, that is like the most disgusting
I never
cereal.
liked marshmallows.
Ugh. Yeah.
I love marshmallow fluff. I don't. I can't eat marshmallows.
Do you like fluff and nutter sandwiches?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Especially
is that a
with
Maine?
jam.
Is that? Oh, right. That's right. Yes. Is that a Maine thing? A fluffer nutter sandwich?
I guess so.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
I
We should make like a
haven't eaten
Maine.
anywhere else.
Yeah, we'll have to make like a Maine specific quiz because there's like so much stuff specific to this great state of Maine. All right, let's see. What was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon to watch?
I loved all of them.
Hmm.
I loved
Same.
all of them. I mean, Saturday mornings. It was the what was the ones that you teach the
Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
And everything that went around there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we were TV-aholics when we were kids.
Yeah. Oh, same. And it's interesting. I'm trying to think who I was talking about this with. I think it was with Dan from the Generation S podcast. And he's a couple of years younger than I am, but I think our generations, like whatever, we're all very hard on ourselves for giving screen time to kids. And like, or oh, look at that family over there, like their kids are on iPads, like why do they come to the restaurant, like put their kids on iPads, which I can argue both sides of that thing,
right.
But we're just so hard on ourselves and judgmental and all this stuff. But it's like, I watched TV all the time. I mean, I was very active. I did sports. I did fine in school. I wasn't like behind or something because all I did was sit and watch TV. But we watched a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just Sesame Street, and thankfully there wasn't a lot of like garbage shows on for kids, thank God. So that was probably part of the reason why our parents were okay with it, because there was just a limit to what we could watch that was like not appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But we watched TV a lot, and we have a lot of home videos that my dad took, and it's like every time there's a video we're watching TV. Yes, always. It's like, wait, it's like, that's like a Dr. Seuss thing. Like,
that's very cute that your dad took video of that.
Yeah.
That's
oh my
sweet.
God, tons. Yeah, I have a stack that I need to get converted to DVD when I'm in the right mindset for it, when I need to have an ugly cry. But yeah, he filmed a ton of stuff, which of course drove us nuts as kids, but now is hysterical because he didn't just, the best part of it is he didn't film like the baseball game. Like I wouldn't want to watch me playing baseball, like, that'd be kind of boring, but to watch like the stupid crap that me and my sister did around our house as kids when we didn't think anybody was watching, that's the best stuff. And that is exactly what he did.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, we have a couple of them on DVD already, but there's a couple that my mom brought out that haven't seen the light of day in a long time. So I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, it's some good stuff there. Certainly some, no, there's nothing incriminating. It's just being a silly kid. All right. So the last question is, if you could go back in time to your childhood or adolescence, what would you do first?
Yeah. Oh shoot. What I do? I don't know. I don't remember being a kid. I don't remember being a kid. Like I remember we watched cartoons, we watched soap operas. Oh my gosh.
Yes. That reminds me of being homesick from school. It's like, oh God, the only thing to watch is soap. For me, I hate it. So that's like what I could say, like for the hate thing, which is, I shouldn't use the word hate, but just like strongly detest soap operas. Oh my God. That's the worst. For me, the worst.
Yeah. What would I do though? If I could go back in time, I would spend more time with my mom. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of people say is just, which is good, is it's usually about family, just wanting to, it's not going to the movies or, going to the mall or something. It's like going to some family member's house or some friend's house, and I think I'm definitely the same way. That's exactly where my brain goes to. Yeah.
Yeah. When we lost our mom almost she's going on 7 years ago,
Oh man.
going on 8 years ago, sorry. And I remember thinking, I don't have any memories of being with her, but I don't have memories of being a kid. I have a friend of mine that I spent a lot of time with, and she was like, don't you remember we used to go to the so we used to live on Range Road, where the Humane Society used to be, off of
Okay.
Pleasant Street.
Oh
We
wow.
used to
Oh
live
geez.
right down there, and it's right across the golf course is right across the street, and so we would
Yeah.
like walk across the golf course in the winter.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that, but my friend was like, "Don't you remember? We like stayed at your house."
Oh,
Don't remember, but
wow.
like,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I was like, I don't really have a lot of memories with my mom, and so I would definitely want to go back there and make some memories.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. And that is a great answer. Well, so born and raised in Brunswick then. That's cool. That's great that you've stuck around. I mean, yeah.
It
I
wasn't my
mean,
plan, but it
yeah.
worked out.
Yeah, isn't it funny how life just leads you in random places. Yeah, I had never been to Maine, never vacationed here, knew nothing about it, and moved here essentially a week after I graduated from college. So we never
And
came here on vacation, no family in Maine, no nothing, no connection, no ties, no nothing.
but did you say your wife got a job here, and that's why you
She's from
moved?
Maine. Yeah, she's born and raised in Maine, and the only time that she left was for college. So, yeah, she's been here the whole time, for the
And
most
you met
part.
her in college.
Well, actually, I'd met her quite a ways after college, when I was an alternative ed teacher. I was also the advisor for the high school that I worked at. I was their LGBTQA ally group advisor. And so they had meetings like once a month to help advisors like plan out meetings and different ideas and whatever. And so she was at that meeting for her school, because she was the advisor for her school's club. And then we like went out for coffee and the rest is history. So
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, just weird. Yeah, never.
So you moved from Chicago to Maine. Well,
Yeah.
no, where did you go to college?
I grew up outside of Chicago. It's a suburb. I don't think like Portland has suburbs, but in Illinois, whatever, we have suburbs. So I grew up in a suburb of Chicago, which is like essentially means like a big town within like I don't know, a hour distance from Chicago. But Chicago for me was about 30 minutes away. But my parents both grew up in Chicago, and my grandma lived in Chicago. My sister lived in Chicago off and on for most of her most of her adulthood. So a lot of ties to that city and that area. So
Did you go to school in Chicago?
I went to Northern Michigan University, which is in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's kind of like Maine because it's it feels pretty remote and woody, and winter stinks. And but they had a great program for what I was studying, and was kind of it was a great school. It was a really great experience. I just don't like winter, but that's besides the point.
And
Yeah,
then you moved to Maine.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's so weird. And yeah, haven't left. Was supposed to, but didn't. And had I left, who
Who
knows?
knows?
Yeah.
Right. But so you got a job from college
Yeah.
in Maine,
Mhm.
and that's how you ended up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sight unseen.
Yes, it was literally, accept with the, what is it, shake with the right, accept with the left. And then I had a week to pack up my car and pack up my life and yeah, move out here. It was really weird. Feels like it was just yesterday, but it was like, it's a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. So, life is
Holy moly.
crazy. Yeah, I know. Now I don't have a Midwestern accent anymore. I understand Maine humor. I can understand what somebody with a really strong Maine accent is saying, which I didn't used to be able to, and now I can. So I feel pretty impressed with myself. And I think I'm kind of a token Mainer now, which is just bizarre, but it's okay because I have a good life here, so all is well.
Awesome.
minus winter and pollen season and pollen season. Yeah. So on that note, Amy, where can listeners find your podcast?
Oh my goodness. Grounded in Maine podcast is everywhere you listen to podcasts. Just look that up. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Apple, Google.
Well, so you're did I know that you were on YouTube? So like your episodes are on there or like
Mhm.
other video okay, nice.
My episodes are on YouTube.
Awesome.
It's not that special, but
It's
the
more
second largest search engine. So
it's more it's more work because you and I are both indie podcasters, so we record, edit, research, whatever, all on our own. So adding that to your plate is certainly
yeah,
an undertaking,
I
on top
don't
of everything.
edit my video.
Yeah. Hey, just going through the process of doing that though, still, and you're also a business owner. So can you
And I'm
want
a
to give
business owner.
yeah, want to give a little shout out for that?
Sure. I also own Amy's Garden Jam, so I make jams. I pick most of the fruit and I make jams.
Nice. And how long have you been doing that?
I started in 2020 during the pandemic.
Mhm.
And I have jam available at Replanova Farm Store in Durham and Old Crow Ranch Farm Store in Durham.
Mhm.
And on Farm Drop in Wiscasset.
Oh, cool.
And on my website, which is amysgardenjam.com.
Okay, well, I'll make sure to put links to all that. And if you ever want to have like a 90s theme jam, you can make like That's My Jam or something cheesy to that effect. I'm
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's called Amy's Garden Jam for
Yeah.
a reason. Like I used to want to be a singer. Like I used to sing.
What?
I used to sing.
Wow,
I used to sing in choir forever and ever and ever, and
Cool.
then I just stopped. But so I call them my jam sessions.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you sing while you're making the jam?
Heck yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
What
I'm
is
singing 80s.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, so when you are like jamming out literally while you're jamming, how many times do you say jam in one sentence? What songs are you singing, do you find?
It's usually the 80s. I mean, I just have like an 80s. What is my station? I can't remember. I've got an 80s
like 101.9
that I just listen to.
Yeah, nice.
On Pandora. I don't know.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pretty fun, and I love everything.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. Stop that. Oh gosh. Or Melissa Etheridge.
Yeah. Which was she? I think did she come to LA? Yeah, well,
yes.
I think wasn't she like at LL Bean this summer? Maybe.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
She broke Freeport, Maine. She broke it.
Wow.
There were like
so cool.
20,000 people there. It was insane.
Wow.
I mean, a free concert to see Melissa Etheridge.
Right. I mean, I know exactly. Yeah, that's
people
amazing.
Are practically sitting on the sidewalks, like down the hill from LA.
Oh my God.
You can't see anything, but you can hear it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think I'm trying to think. I maybe went to a concert there, but it was before I even lived near Freeport, but now where I just don't operate on that kind of schedule. And it's but it's cool. So we're like podcasters / entrepreneurs / Amy's / glasses. The list just goes on. It's kind of funny. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure. You're certainly welcome on anytime. And I'm happy to be on your show and fail a quiz about sustainability. And I'm going to go to, yes, I'm sure I could learn a lot from you about all the good stuff that, we can do, which is certainly very admirable and such a relevant and important topic, especially right now, since the world is on fire and there's like whales close to shore and all that good stuff. So, no, but that's awesome. I think it's really, poignant and timely for your show. So keep up the good work on that.
I want to take just a second to thank Amy Lewis again. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I seriously have wanted to be on your podcast since I met you. I want to do it again with the 80s and show you what I can really do. I love your podcast, and I'm so thrilled to have paired up with you. And I can't even believe that we've lived in the same town for so long and have never crossed paths. I love podcasting so much because we've met. Oh gosh. I want to thank Buzzsprout for hosting this podcast. I want to thank Jane Bolduck for her music. I want to thank Becca Coffron for her beautiful artwork, and for everyone who's listened to the podcast for the last year and a little bit. I love podcasting. I love International Podcasting Day for the chance to reminisce and look back on the last year since the last podcasting day, when I just read over a few, I think last podcasting day, I just read over a few reviews because I didn't have a lot to say. And because I didn't know anybody in Brunswick, Maine that was podcasting, and I couldn't do something super fun like this. So thank you so much for those who are listening. I hope that you've enjoyed this fun episode.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness. We'll heal the hate with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder,